like recharges Ryan Bogdan at the end of the night?
Well, it maybe is just letting yourself unwind. I would do yoga.
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, because like you're releasing the tension from the day and really letting the body relax before bed. But my time is in the morning.
Wow.
Because then there's no interruptions. Like that's how I recharge. Talkin St. Pete, what up? Welcome back. It's Ryan Bogdan. Welcome back to Talkin St. Pete. I am your host, Ryan Bogdan. Before I get into today's amazing guest, this is going to be a fun one, folks. I can let you know this is sponsored by Bogdan Homes. If you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest here in the greater Tampa Bay area, find our information in the contact description below. And now, on to our awesome guest, man. This is going to be fun. We got Jared Dykas.
Let's go.
He is talent director here at KW Gulf Beaches. He's also a stand-up comedian at some of the local spots here. He's also told me he's an ex-Chick-fil-A employee.
Yes.
And not to be confused with the Jared from Subway.
No, not to be confused with the Jared or the Gallery of Diamonds as well, Ryan.
Oh, right. Yeah. Dude, what's those commercials? He went to Jared.
It was a whole Morgan Wallen song.
He
You
went
never
to
heard
Jared.
that? He went to Jared, Morgan Wallen song?
I'm just getting into Morgan Wallen.
You're just getting into Morgan Wallen.
Yeah,
okay. Well, that is where I'd like to start, my friend.
Yo, let's cheers on these things, right? Let's see what we're first little whiskey here.
What is this, by the way, that we'll be tasting today?
What is this?
Who sponsored you?
Jameson
This is the Black Label.
Barrel. Yeah,
Oh.
Jameson Black Barrel. I don't know. We had it laying around. We're going to see. We thought we'd have some fun here. Hey, you know what just
Absolutely.
happened? We just had, what was the name of that hurricane?
Idaho.
Idaho.
Vidalia onion.
A dahlia onion.
Okay.
No, cheers to...
Let's cheers. And these
to the
are
safety.
St. Pete glasses, right?
Yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah. Good luck, buddy.
Some ASMR for the Spotify listeners, right?
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, so they can just hear the sips?
If they can, really feel like they're here sipping the whiskey with us.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
I got
but
it. Yeah.
in
So
all
how'd you make out
seriousness-
during the hurricane, dude?
I was fine. I was downtown. The hurricane was fine, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was really scared though.
When was your first one?
It was my first one. Me and my girlfriend Taylor just moved down here like 6 months ago, and I gotta pay you a little tribute to that.
Yeah.
I didn't wind up closing with Bogdan Homes. Didn't wind up closing at all. But I did make it down to St. Pete,
You did,
and you
bro.
were right.
What?
You know what you told me?
What did I say?
You were like, "Yo, if you just move down here, your whole life will change," and it did, man, for the worse. I'm kidding. No, but for real though, the whole experience of moving to St. Petersburg, brother, it's really humbling, and you were definitely a big reason why I moved down to St. Petersburg. And in all seriousness, brother, you became a hell of a great friend over the past couple months, and I'm buying my first house through you, even if I am a real estate agent myself.
Dude, that
I gotta
says a
give
lot.
you my commission,
That
brother.
says a lot, man. I
gotta give you my
appreciate you. St. Pete will just do that, man. It just lifts you up by your greater spirits and brings you in, introduces you to all the right people.
It's weird like that, right?
Yeah, great things happen.
And so I know this is what, like the episode 35, 36, 37,
Who's
something
counting?
like
I
that.
don't know. We're
Who's
just-
counting?
yeah.
But you had many successful business owners
Yeah.
and operators, people not like myself.
What do you mean? You're awesome.
I know I'm awesome,
Yeah,
but
dude.
I'm just messing around. But you've had you've had all these amazing guests, right? And now you're like 30 episode deep.
Yeah, what was this, like 37, 38? I
That's
don't know.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's what? 36. Wow, Brian Westbrook's number.
Yeah.
37. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
There's not like a 37
Number that
sports
comes
player
in.
that comes to mind.
No, and I like Westbrook. He was
Westbrook, because
Yeah.
you're from Philadelphia
Yeah,
area, right?
yeah.
So you're gonna be an Eagles fan this season, or you're Bucks now?
No, I think you gotta support both, unless
You-
they're playing each other. Unless they're
Whoa.
playing each other.
They're playing each other week 3.
Okay, so then root for the Philly. You know.
All right.
Yeah,
we
you
got it, we
gotta
got
stay
it.
true to
you
the
don't
whole-
wanna-
the-
You don't want to upset the Talkin St. Pete followers.
No, but at the same time, like there's enough people in St. Pete that aren't from here.
And that's what I was hoping you to say, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that leads me right into my next point, Ryan. What is it that brings everyone down here? You've interviewed 30 plus people.
Yeah.
They're business owners. Some of these people are so deep rooted. They have their kids here.
Yep.
They have their businesses here. They have their legacy here. what is it that is really calling people to St. Pete right now? And I'd like to start here for today's podcast.
Okay, so it's I like this. No, it's fun because the podcast where I get to like you're asking questions or like.
But seriously, dude, you've interviewed you're like the Mr. Dr. St. Pete right now. You know what I mean?
I never heard of the Dr. St. Pete. I'll take the
St.
mayor.
Pete.
I'll take the mayor. Although I'm not going to run for election. I don't think that'd be fun. Why do people come to St. Pete?
Yeah.
I think it's the culture and the vibe here, the melting pot that becomes people that you're accepted as you are, right? Even if you look at our dining scene here, we don't really have high class dining where you have to show up in a collar and closed toed shoes like you do in Tampa, right? Like any of our fine dining spots, you can kind of show up in a t-shirt and shorts and flip flops, and it's okay. So that just says, but at the same time, you could be sitting next to a multi-millionaire who owns some big, crazy, successful business, and you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, but you don't think people are moving down here to sit next to a...
No, but I'm saying in terms of like that, like people who are like, I don't want the really fancy, I don't need all that, but I want to show up as I am. I want to be comfortable, but I still want to be around successful people. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here, a lot of people who are striving, a lot of artists. It's a great artist community. And I think being close to a downtown area and also being 20 minutes from the beaches just creates this cool vibe where it's like you have the relaxation of the beaches, but you have the little bit of hustle and grind of downtown with cool shops and restaurants and like things to do. The pier, I think, is a part of that too. There's a lot of outdoor space to hang out.
Well, I hate hanging indoors, man.
Yeah.
I hate it. That's what was horrible about Jersey is that you're indoors all the time. If you're working somewhere, you know, like a Chick-fil-A. I'm kidding, but there are typically no windows, you know, if you're working somewhere indoors, and it's like
Did you work at a prison or a bank?
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, a Tilly's in a mall. There's no windows in a mall. It sucks. So you're just selling Nixon watches until, you know, midnight as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, but what about you, man? So what brought you here besides me?
Yeah, no, besides you and you know, the just general Florida, you know, luxury that comes with living in a state with like Florida. It was really just business opportunity. I from a young age, man, and just a little bit about myself. I don't want to just be a random friend.
No, you got a lot to offer. That's why you're here.
Well, let me talk a little bit about.
Go
just
ahead,
give some
man.
Context.
Have the floor.
What was going on? What was going on? So it's funny. I was thinking about it, and I was talking to Taylor just the other week about this. In January, I was in Lake Tahoe, California, for an event for one of our clients, GoBundance, which is like a real estate mastermind, right? You have to have X amount of millions of dollars in real estate to even be a part of this thing, right? But we're out there, and it's end of January. Keep in mind, it's 2023. This is a couple months ago. I kid you not. Moving to St. Petersburg, let alone Florida, let alone anywhere, was not even a thought in my head. But something happened around that time, like 30 days, 60 days later, where I kind of was just like, why not? And having the conversation was just so addicting about moving to Florida. For anyone who is thinking about moving to Florida, or is like, oh, I'm going to move to Florida a year from now or 6 months from now, that time period where you're in your state and you're just like waiting to go to Florida is the most anxious time period ever. Like, you're just like, let me get out of this state. I will do whatever to get to this beautiful sunshine city. It's I'm a little shorter.
Bro,
so
get comfy,
dude. I'm thinking. Yeah. But seriously, you know, just moving down here is anxious, and then I didn't think it was going to be a possibility, but it wind up just kind of working out through Keller Williams.
Believed it,
and because I believed it.
That's a big thing, dude. You know I'm about that. You got to believe it, and it can happen. But I can relate to that. I like that you said that because I remember that period that I had of waiting to move.
Were you waiting to go for a while, you think?
Yeah, like 5-6 months.
5-6 months?
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm way too impatient. And that's the only thing I don't like about Florida is like, I'm very fast paced, I feel like, because of Jersey and just Philadelphia. Can you relate to that? It seems like you kind of eased up though.
No.
Actually, I'm thinking back to like just montage of you in the downtown St. Pete office running around, dude, you still got every bit of East Coast inside of you, don't you think?
Yeah, that Northeast. So, and that's a gift because you come down in the South, and no offense to anyone that's like from here, but like they're just a little laid back.
Absolutely.
Got used to the sun. It feels good. You
Got used to the sun.
You know?
That's funny.
And whereas, like, dude, when it's cold up north, you're not waiting around. No. It's
No, you're getting your bacon, egg, and cheese, and you're getting out of there.
getting out of there onto the next, dude. You got to be fast. And I think you bring that kind of hustle because that thing's going to get cold.
Yeah.
You got to eat.
But, it's not going to get cold in this. It will not get cold down here, right? Because that's why I moved down here.
I mean, it might get, like, chilly in the morning. If you're waking up at 5 a.m., it's a little chilly in the morning.
So can you relate it to how it felt yesterday? Were you outside yesterday with like the storm after the storm?
Yeah.
Is that
Dude,
like
I
how
didn't know
the winter gets?
Oh, no, it's colder than that.
It gets colder than that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
You might see high 40s.
I'm moving home, dude. No, but for real. And just to wrap up that thought about me coming down here, I moved down for opportunity and business, man. I think Florida's a great state. I think there's a tons of opportunity in most places. I don't really subscribe to that thought where as much as I like St. Pete, as much as I love Florida, I don't really subscribe to that thought anymore where you have to be in a certain area to do X, Y, and Z anymore. It's just like we live in the day and age of our technology and our phones being more powerful than the button that landed the moon, you know what I mean? Or landed our airships on the moon or whatever.
Right.
Rocket ships, airships. I'm making up technology as we speak.
Yeah,
Man.
I love it.
This is collaborative, informative marketing. But anyway, so moved down here for business, and there's just so many people that I've met. Like I've even met a kid that I haven't caught up with in 10 years. His name's Raz, right? I was in this pyramid scheme when I was 16 years old. It was called Verve. I don't know if you remembered that. It was like a network marketing thing, not like a crazy like pyramid scheme on purpose. I didn't know I was scamming people. We were doing network marketing, right? And I was young, and so I was like speaking a lot at these events. And anyway, long story short, they pair me up with this 16-year-old Raz, who was from a different part of Jersey, and we speak at this big regional event, right? And it was like in the Poconos. Turns out 10 years later, this kid has been living in St. Petersburg for the past 3 years and has a wildly successful business where they purchase Amazon products. It's really cool. It's called D1 Brands.
Nice.
Would be a good guest as well for Talkin St. Pete one day. I was going to tell you about him. Cool. It's funny how even someone like that, random experience, I caught up with the kid throughout 10 years, and then before you know it, we're at Intermezzo, having espressos, right? You know what I mean?
Cool.
And
it's a good spot.
This place really brings people in, and I'm not one person to think that you ever meet someone that isn't for a reason. Whether it's good, bad, do you agree with that? Like, do you feel like you meet people for a reason?
Yes and no.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you also meet people at a high level, I would assume, especially with being team leader and whatnot.
It's funny you say that because I just got a little bit of time away, and so I came back with like this new vision and sight, and I'm auditing my life for what is the purpose of the things that I do and those that are in my life, and in terms of am I bringing you value or are you bringing me value, and or vice versa, and if not, what is the reason for the relationship?
Wow.
And I think it's a good thing to audit because I do a lot.
What would you call that?
I don't know. An audit.
No, but like on what? Like on your life? I know I don't need taxing lessons right now.
Yeah.
But what would you, like a life audit or like a time audit?
Yeah, time, energy.
Energy audit.
Energy. Because everyone takes up some type of mental space, right? If I had a conversation with someone and there was no exchange, I didn't provide any value to you, you didn't provide any value to me. This is just value could be fun, right? Value could be, we're buddies, we like to hang out, and we just like to have fun together. Yeah. But if there's not even that component, then it sucks up like a 30-second conversation, a minute, that even if I think on that later in the shower, that's taking up space. So I could be thinking about something else.
Yeah, and that shower time is usually where you honestly get the best thoughts.
Best thoughts, because you can't do anything else.
You
but
can't
just
do
stand
nothing.
there
And wash your back.
Yeah.
You always got to wash your back in the
Always.
shower.
And-
Sometimes I forget.
Don't
Don't get it, bro.
Yeah, dude. So tell me about your stand-up comedian, which I saw.
Man.
Look, don't let him.
Everyone was watching the first 20 minutes of this. Like, this guy's not even funny. Like, how is he a stand-up comic? Probably.
No, you're funny, bro.
Thank you.
So-
Because you saw me live.
I saw you live, and I was
So
crying.
I have 1 5-star review
Dude,
on
I
my
was-
Google
I
for
was
JD Comic.
I was crying.
It was
dude.
good?
Showed up in a Sesame Street T-shirt, looking.
That's funny.
dude. That was great.
You know, I already sold that shirt.
What do you mean?
I
Why?
already sold it. I found that shirt at a Plato's Closet like a month ago in St. Petersburg, and it was an all-over print in 90s. I'm into like vintage tees.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm just into vintage tees, and not this one is vintage, but typically some of my shirts will be like from 1990 or like even older than me itself, right? And this shirt I found at a Plato's Closet for $7, and I sold it to a thrift store around here for like $20.
Nice.
Yes, and Dominique, you know what? Let's shout out them because I took your advice, and I probably gave well, Curated Heat in downtown St. Pete. I probably given these guys about $250 worth of vintage clothes in the past week. And I got a really cool pair of sneakers out of it.
Nice.
And some other cool shirts, and they gave me cash. It's cool because, because these shirts, once they make them, they're not going to make, you can find a reprint of Led Zeppelin at Target, but it's not going to be the same from their tour in the 80s or
Right.
the 70s or even like a reprint from the 90s, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just like watches, it's just like sneakers.
Right.
There's T-shirts, and each T-shirt is tagged different in the back, and it has sometimes different years. Tour shirts are the craziest, though, man. I don't know how we got on this T-shirt bit, but I love vintage tees, bro.
He's passionate about the tees. I was saying because on stage when I first saw you, what was the name of that comedy club?
We got to shout out Sun City.
Yes,
Sun City. Sunset. I don't even. Sunshine. I always say it wrong because there's so many S's. And shout out to Kenny Garcia, the new owner there. It used to be called Coconuts, and now it's called Sunshine City Sells by the Seashore. I'm kidding. No, it's
Sunshine City Comedy.
Sunshine City Comedy
It is
Club.
a tongue twister.
So,
You gotta,
Triple S Comedy Club. No, it's Sunshine City Comedy Club by Kenny Garcia. Listen, I paid $10,000 when I was like 12 for braces. I didn't wear my retainer for, I swear, it must have been 2 weeks. Look at this freaking gap I got right now, bro. It's disgusting. I look like a cartoon character, man. What is this?
Oh, bro. Okay, so we got S Cubed Comedy Club.
Sunshine City Comedy Club. I'm starting to sound crazy, but
You did this?
I did the open mic. So
yeah.
it's crazy. You pay money to. Well, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I mean, maybe not. Yeah, they
You pay a
know.
couple bucks,
You
bro.
pay a couple bucks.
It was
You
hilarious.
give them a handshake, and then you go up there, and then you say, "This is who I am" for 5 minutes. And it's exhilarating, man. I'm surprised more people. I think that in the next 5 years, you're gonna see stand-up comics because once people figure out that it's not. Yes, it is very hard, but it's like, and nowadays, like, there's enough clubs that are giving people, the everyday person like myself. Yeah, I'm verified on Instagram, but like I can show you pointless dogs and poodles that are probably verified on Instagram too. Like that means nothing.
Right.
So they let anyone up on stage. I mean anyone.
Oh, I've seen it, dude.
People who probably shouldn't be on that stage.
That one guy that put that big ring in his nose. Did you see that?
That was the guy that I was talking about. His name is Terry. And when I was talking to him one time, he told me that Robin Williams stole one of his jokes. Oh shit, we gotta probably take that out. But he told me a story about like how R.I.P. to Robin Williams for real. But he said that like he's been doing comedy for years and years and years and years, and this place over in St. Pete has been there for all those years. And Kenny recently took it over, and he's a hell of a comic. Love him, and I love everyone there. They're really cool.
Dude, you had me dying. We rolled in squad deep. You had the best audience there.
Well, it's because all my best friends were there, and you included, brother. So that was really cool. And I really thank you for that, man. I'll be honest, I haven't had a night like that quite yet. Since that night, I only performed once or twice more after that. But I just been studying for this real estate license, brother.
Right. You got to focus on it. You can only focus on so many things at once. That's why back to the energy and the audit is why that's important.
This is going to be a refreshing episode for everyone listening. They're going to really audit their energy, their time.
You have to. So what I realized, so I just spent a week in Portugal, and completely broke up all of the mundane routine of daily life and the grind and the hustle.
How many days was it? It was like 10?
I was gone because I went to Mega Agent Camp in Texas, and I flew straight from there to Portugal, and then was with 5 other buddies, and we had a camera guy and with us the whole time. Cool. Yeah, it was really cool. But so my point in saying all that is breaking up your routine creates space for new. Like, how did I hold on? I journaled on this. I think that's important because
that is. Bring it out.
Let me pull this up. So I think if you're not writing out your thoughts, you need to do that because it's something about visualizing them.
But what was so interesting do you feel like before you left for Portugal, you had like all these habits or like a certain schedule?
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. We all do. We all have a routine every day. Like from the moment you get out of bed to when you start brushing your teeth, right? Like you're just pushing play on life. And then you're going through it, and you have 80 to 90% of the same thoughts every day. And
dude, while you're looking for that, I'm gonna enjoy this whiskey.
Yeah, go for it. We just can't let there be dead air, you know?
I know.
Yeah, everyone's listening right now. They're like, God, what are these guys doing? Talking all over the place. Okay,
that's me, man. That's because of my bipolarism or something.
Oh wait, here it is. Breaking the habitual thought pattern, stepping back allowed me to see. Oh no!
Are you reading me LinkedIn articles right now, dude?
No. Being able to disconnect allowed for the mind to create space for new. So disconnecting, right? So auditing, clearing out your energy, clearing out your habits of your mind. Now there's a space for new thoughts to be formed.
But can I ask you a question on that?
What?
Were you like meditating in Portugal or no?
No.
So you weren't meditating, yet you were experiencing life at such a different pattern.
Because I was extremely present. I knew what was happening as it was happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
And why is that different than when maybe you go into work? And just be honest.
Because back to having 80% of the same thoughts every day. You're in that environment. You're having okay,
familiar with it.
Familiar with these areas. I'm thinking these things. These are the meetings I have to have. These are the conversations I'm going to have. I have to do this. Oh, now you're going to make food. Like, it's just you're in. When you completely break down all the thing that you do daily, now everything you do is new. So it creates space for new.
Wow. That's really cool. So to wrap this into even someone randomly listening to this who's like, okay, Ryan, I live in St. Pete. And I'm looking for something new. I've been to the dog bar, okay? I've been to the pier, okay?
Yeah.
I've been to Vinoy. I played volleyball with the best of them. I got into pickleball. I break my ankle. Now what, okay?
Right.
So this person's like, I'm looking for something new.
Yep.
What would you suggest to someone who's like, you know what, I'm looking for a change, but I live in St. Pete? And the wrong answers go over to the bridge to Tampa, okay?
That is the wrong answer. Although I think just changing up for more, I think it's like 3 or 4 days of just completely different routine.
Like you have to like 180 it kind of?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because you got to interrupt the neural connections that are always being fired
What
off.
if I work a full-time job though?
Yeah, take a vacation.
Wow. So you're big on like, I heard Gary Keller, the CEO and founder of Keller Williams, obviously, or the co-founder. He said one time that in the beginning of his year is when he'll actually plot out his vacations. And I always thought that was interesting. I always felt like I don't have enough money to maybe do something like that. But this past summer, when I heard him teach the QL course, he was saying like, no, you can't afford not to plan your vacations because that's how you're going to get burned out.
Yep.
Have you ever felt burnt out?
So I don't even think I realized it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a scary place to be because then you could have really got really burned out.
I
before it
knew
was too
I'm
late.
very aware.
Yeah,
and
that's good. That's
yeah.
good.
And so I don't know if it was burnout, but it was just creating like, was there enough space to create new? And so I think that's what getting away allowed for. And I'm all for it. Like I think you should plan out all this stuff because that's what being on that trip. Like why? What is the purpose? Like you're here to live.
Yeah.
Are you living? Like we literally stayed at a place called the Living Lodge,
Wow.
and there was no door on the bathroom.
What's that mean?
Dude, you're showering, and it was outside. Like I could
okay.
shower and be outside.
I was like, what is this like a luxury bathroom that I don't know about?
No. My purpose of that is that you're showering and you're looking out, overlooking the ocean.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And this was not like a fancy place. Like it
That's
was like
cool though.
you're just living. You're outside. You're hanging
Very
out.
different
Yeah,
than
very
where you
different.
live in St. Pete, I'm sure.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. It's just small things. I think just watching your energy. Back to that is important. Where are you putting your energy? You only have so much to give.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question then. So one thing I struggle with, especially living downtown, is there's so many people, right? I imagine when you walk out downtown, you might even run into people you know.
Guaranteed.
You're talking to someone. How do you like recharge your batteries at the end of the night? Like that's something I struggle with. I try to get into reading, but dude, I'm so tired by the end of the night that it's like I can't be reading. I'll be like going to sleep. You know what I mean?
No.
If I have to try to audiobooks sometimes. What like recharges Ryan Bogdan at the end of the night?
Well, it maybe is just letting yourself unwind. I would do yoga.
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, because back to like you're releasing the tension from the day and really letting the body relax before bed. I think that's.
Do you do that in your apartment?
Yeah.
That's cool. I remember. I know
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
fun because you had the yoga thing right there in your.
Yeah.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that if you really need to unwind in that sense, but back to my time is in the morning
Wow.
because then there's no interruptions. Like that's how I recharge. My recharge is almost in the morning.
That's cool. And then you just get a good night's rest and then you're all good.
Yeah, but as the day progresses, you can't account for the thing that's going to. You got to make a left turn. All of a sudden, it's 2:00 in the afternoon, and you got to go here, and that wasn't planned. And like, are you going to get to that thing that you had planned for yourself in the evening? Depends on how big of a priority I think it is.
Yeah.
And so reading might be tough, but I'm a big proponent of writing.
Writing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier about like writing your notes. So that just like looks like journaling. Like my day was like this, or
I don't think you have to put a lot of thought behind it. If some people say, "Oh, I don't know what to write about," set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes and just sit down and just write whatever's going on in your mind.
Have you ever looked at like an old thought before and been
Dude,
like, "Whoa, I'm happy I wrote that."
That's the best part. Is even in the moment, if you're not enjoying it, it's kind of like, sometimes in a moment, you're like, "Oh, do we really need to take this picture?" And you took it, you look back on it a week, month, year later, and you're like, "Oh, I'm so glad we did."
Wow.
It's the same thing with writing because you don't realize sometimes that you're even in a loop of continuous thought until you write it out. You end up realizing, I just wrote that same thing over the last 6 months in a different way.
100%.
So you're now observing your thoughts. And your brain will trick you, and you're not going to remember that you're having the same thoughts over and over and over again because it's just the environment. Does a fish know that's in water?
No, dude, that is a great question. We should ask.
Do you think it does? It definitely knows when it's out of water.
Let me get one, dude. Let me get one right there, dude. That was good. But yeah, I mean that is a good question. I don't think I journal enough, man. I used to, dude, I'll be honest. Like when I was 15 years old, I got so into like the law of attraction and The Secret and like meditation and like prayer. Well, listen, I'm a Christian. I pray now.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking like I would have this thing and like the crystals on my head and I'd be like, oh, like trying to blast off and like get some divine thought, right? Where I thought spirituality was this big crazy. I was really into this thing, right?
Yes.
And then for some reason in my early 20s, I just got fascinated with life.
What's
and
wrong
then
with
now
that?
nothing until you wake up one day and you kind of realize, not like I'm having this big midlife or quarter life crisis, but you realize like that we're all spiritual beings living in a minor physical experience. And then you're like, wow, this stuff really matters. And then when you neglect it, you don't feel like the energy, like you're not walking around like, wow, I'm at like 60% of my energy. But recently, when I've added that aspect back into my life, I've naturally felt just like way more
lighter.
Yeah, 100%, brother. 100%. I don't do yoga though. My girlfriend loves it. Like, you know, she wants to be an instructor or whatever and do all that fun stuff. But for me, man, I'm not flexible enough, which is one of the reasons why I should do it.
Yes.
I know. That's why you got to go to sweat. That's why you got to go to sweat.
No, it's
I know
funny.
that's your every time, bro, I see you at sweat, I'm like, why am I not there with him?
Why?
I don't know.
Well, we don't have to get into it, but
Yeah. I need to.
It's anything. Movement is medicine. And people, I'm not the one to say that. Like, everyone has heard that. But to the point of, like, yoga, I think it's helping. The purpose for me of doing it is to be present. At the end of the night, the reason you can't wind down is because you're lost in thought. And so what can you do to help you be present?
Go to sleep. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but I'm serious though. Like, what can I do to go to sleep at that point where it's like, you ever get like that?
Oh, yeah. Then that's when you pick up the book, bro. That's the first thing that'll put you to sleep.
True that.
Yeah. If you can't sleep, pick up a book. You'll be out in 5 seconds.
Did you ever go to the pier beach?
The pier beach, the one right next to the left of the pier. If you're looking at it,
the peach,
yeah,
or whatever.
I like to go there and watch the sunrise.
That's where you go in the morning.
Yeah,
because I see your stories. Sometimes you're out there or whatever.
Yeah, it's peaceful. It's so beautiful.
I love that there.
Yeah.
Some people think that's a touristy area. I would like to put some
not
respect.
at 6:30, 7 a.m.
Yeah, come on. It's me and the homeless people. No one's talking to us.
No.
We are reading books. We are. I'm kidding. That was messed up. But we are reading books. We're meditating out there. People are doing yoga at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's beautiful.
Even
out
if you're
there.
just sitting there watching the sun come up, it's amazing. What I like to observe is how quickly the sun breaks the horizon, and then the gap between the sun and the horizon.
Like the from the water, you mean?
Yeah, because when you're watching it, you're like, okay, the sun's not up yet. Boom, boom, boom. Now all of a sudden it's coming in, but like it comes up within like 2 minutes.
Really?
And now all of a sudden there's a gap between the sun and the water, and then you're watching like, wow, the sun's actually moving pretty fast. And
Dude,
it's a
why
relation.
does it move? This is a loaded question, but why does the sun move that fast right there as compared to later in the day?
No, it does. It's moving at the same speed. You just
What?
don't recognize it because it's so bright. At that angle, it's shooting through so much atmosphere that you're able to look straight at it. So you're able to see it. So as it gets higher, you're able to look at it and say, how fast you moving?
Yo, what does the sun look like when you're skydiving? I've always wanted to know that.
I've never looked at it.
You've never looked at it? Or like anything like that? Like, could you even see like a little bit? Did you ever go out?
Like sunset, it's
Yeah.
skydiving is sick, and it looks like the sun. I mean, you can see the curvature of the Earth.
You can?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I've always wondered that. I've never been that high up.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
It's really cool. That was one thing. I mean, I love this podcast because we're just hanging out, having
People
a good
are
time.
going to be so pissed when they hear this.
We're having a good time. We're having a good time.
Okay.
And to be fair, Jared, I just called Jared today and was like, bro, you want to be on the podcast?
You were like, listen, it's either you or we just pulled this random guy off the street wearing like Supreme. So it's either you or this random Supreme kid. And I was like,
I thought this
please,
was
man,
perfect
please,
because
man.
we've been having lots of conversation. We're kind of jumping all over, but you have a lot of good ideas for the show, and I love your energy. And
Well, I
think
love
you're-
talking St. Pete, man. I hate to
Thank
cut you
you.
off, but I do love the concept of like, you are really serious about this community. I want to give you your flowers for a moment and say that you've documented so diversely, so many different walks of life and people, from business owners to specialties in their craft. You really have a really cool community now that you built for Talkin, as Dominique likes to call it. And
out,
who
Dom.
knows what's in the future for this, right? But yeah, man, I mean, I'm jealous. You know, this is cool. This
be
is
jealous,
really,
bro.
really,
You're
really
part of it
cool.
now.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
Wow,
you're part
did
of
you
it.
hear that?
You're a part of it now. And shout out to Martin and Dominique. This would not
Yeah.
exist without them.
Yes.
We're very, very fortunate that we have a really good system in place to be able to stay consistent with this weekly. And that was really the goal. The goal when we started was let's do one episode a week and see what happens for a year.
And yo, your newsletters, to give you another, bro, they're awesome. They're really beautiful newsletters. They're really good.
Great
I
job,
always
Dom.
respond to them. I don't know if you guys
I
get
get
them.
'em,
I'm
yeah.
like, thanks, Ryan,
Yeah.
for the preparation on the hurricane.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
No, I appreciate that. We're doing everything we can to give back and help. And I've said this before, but St. Pete, this is the first time I felt at home in 10 plus years.
Wow.
So it's important to me to give back to the community and just really make it home.
Dude, that's really cool. That's really cool for you to say that, man. And I think that, over the next couple of years, St. Pete's going to have a lot of new development, right? A lot
It's
of new.
happening right now.
And did you see, just out of curiosity, did you see the Julia building?
Yeah.
That one getting, do you know anything about that one?
It's
It
not
looks
that many. It's
interesting.
not that many units. Actually, our agent in our office has it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. So we're.
It's not the same as the other ones.
No,
that
it's
Keller
a
Williams
tighter
has,
knit
right?
community. It's a luxury, very
Wow.
luxury. I think it's like less than 50. It's like 15 units or less.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is like a great location. That's like honestly my favorite part of St. Pete is
Yeah.
like right before Vinoy.
Yep.
Like that street where you can just walk right into beach and stuff like that. I love that area.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's a good spot. There's so many buildings going up.
Do you think that's going to change this area? Like prediction 5 years from now.
Oh, it's inevitable. It's going to change. It has to.
And in what way? Like, is it going to be? You've been to Austin, Texas all the time?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be like Austin, Texas?
Not quite. We're far from that.
I've heard someone say that, and this is like an Austin, Texas local or whatever, that St. Pete reminds them of Austin, Texas when Austin, Texas was like 20 years ago.
That could be. That could
So
be.
if we have like a 20-year run of like this isn't gonna get ruined for another 20 years, and no, I'm kidding. It'll never get ruined. But
the only way it gets ruined is if we lose the locality.
yeah,
It's the local feel is what attracts people here.
yes,
You're not seeing big blocks in downtown, right? You
Yeah.
got to go out of
it's
the way.
still like a beach vibe.
Yeah.
But it's like a downtown city, but you still gotta admit it's a beach vibe, bro, in downtown.
a little bit. Yeah, well, it's because you're so close to water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the development's going to it is change public transport as we with the Sunrunner and other things that may
Have you
get added.
ridden that before?
No, have you?
No, dude, it looks exhilarating. I always see people like pumped. They're like, I'm kidding. No.
Free ride to the beach.
Woo! Back to family. We're going to
Yeah.
Six Flags now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sunrunner looks cool. I like how realistically though, even the smallest little things, like how it says it'll be here in 3 minutes. What other cities are doing that? Nashville, are you doing that? I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I don't know. if
Yeah,
they're
people got
doing
beef
that.
with Nashville right now
Why?
because of all the bachelorette parties.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's become like bachelorette party.
Oh my
like
gosh.
capital of America.
Oh wow.
Yeah, can you imagine if every time we went out downtown, all you see is like 20 bachelorette parties?
Oh my gosh.
Like
That would
that's
be
what they're dealing with right now.
Yeah, you gotta like ban. They're gonna like be banning bachelorette parties like Airbnbs in Nashville. They're gonna be like, nope. If I see one more penis sticker or a
lollipop.
penis lollipop, we'll take that out, Martin. I'm sorry. But yeah, holy
We're
shit.
not taking that out.
We're not taking that out.
No.
I can't say the P word on here, man.
It's
Okay.
yeah, but it's not explicit. That's the biological term.
Where'd you just look? I'm kidding. You sizing me up, bro. I'm kidding.
So when you doing comedy again, dude?
I'm gonna do comedy in September. I pretty decided on that. I'm actually like really serious.
Well, you know
about
that's like
it,
tomorrow.
Dude.
Today's the 31st.
I know. I just realized that. Okay, so hear me out. I take my real estate text. Oh, I wish it was that easy. Sup, and I'd be fucking pissed. My real estate test. I take it September 8th. It's next Friday. I'm live streaming it. I'm kidding. Yeah. It sounded like I was going to.
Tune
No.
in.
I'm done. I'm on. We could go back and forth with bantering, dude. I'm out of this. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I'm taking my test on Friday, and then I'm really serious. I want to perform on Tuesday nights and Friday nights at Sun City.
Okay, commit to that. Put it in the calendar.
I have it in my calendar already. That's the worst part. Is that I've done it. I did it for like a month where I went like 2 times a week and was like all about it. And then I got really busy with real estate, to be honest, man. I mean, I work with KW Gulf Beaches.
Yeah.
We're sister offices, brother offices, whatever you want to call us. And then that real estate test just threw a wrench in my life.
Well, yeah, because
man.
it's hard to be funny when you're trying to be serious studying for a test.
Yeah, it is.
So get that out of the way and then go back to writing and write jokes every day.
Dude, I don't write. That's the worst part. I barely write. And so I've only done it 15, maybe 12, 15 times. So
It's a lot.
It's a lot. But yo, I've talked to comics where they're like, yo, I've been doing it for 3 years and I've lost count like hundreds of times. Like some of these guys I'm talking to are like Monday through Sunday, every single night, multiple mics. Like it's a real grind. And I don't want to belittle it because even when I said it earlier, I almost made it seem like it's easy, like everyone's going to do it. I think people will do it, but the really good ones will still have to be masters inside of there, just like anything. And I don't think I'm anywhere close to
Do you
that.
study other
Do I study others?
It's like that whiskey's working or something.
I
Do you
know.
study other comedians?
Dude, I'll be honest, like that's the only thing that I'm a little sad about is I'm not as much of a fan of comedy as like some of my friends are, where I would like to sit here and be like, yeah, Ari Shaffir and this guy and this guy and that guy. But like I like Bill Burr, I love Pete Davidson, I love Shane Gillis.
So you're doing it right now.
But I'm not like watching them like, yo, how do I like get that? You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm
maybe you
just, like,
should, dude. That's the film.
You're right. And if I treat it as a profession, maybe one day it will be my profession.
Only if you want it to be.
I do want it to be, man.
Then you-
I'm very serious about that. I would say that, and I wish I had more time to talk about stand-up comedy because that would have been
What do you mean,
cooler.
dude? We got time. Keep
Okay,
going.
we got time.
Yeah, you need more
Stand-up
more
comedy.
drink.
No, it's okay, brother. I did look like I was like, man, it would look a lot better half full, but I'm kidding. Stand-up comedy is one of the hardest things to do in terms of like public speaking, I would say. I've done public speaking since I was 15, 16 years old at many facets, whether it was like selling something, whether it was like teaching a sales presentation, whether it was doing something for school or a speech somewhere, right? But stand-up comedy, going up there with nothing but your two hands, hopefully, and a microphone, you were out of your mind trying to make people laugh. But yet, sometimes it works. And I've been in places like, not to name any names specifically, but this one place in Tampa, I bombed in. And Patty B, our friend Pat, the owner of Chuga, shout out Chuga. Chuga. Everyone's like, what's Chuga?
Yeah,
But you got to look it up.
We'll have
It's
Pat
cool.
on in
We'll
a
have-
few. We've already talked about it. They'll figure it out.
Good.
Yeah.
But you know, he was there with me, and he was out seeing getting a cheesesteak or something like that, and I just completely bombed. That's a bad feeling. But guess what? You know what's also a bad feeling is knocking in the snow and in the rain, trying to sell Verizon Fios.
Not door knocking.
Yeah, door knocking and being told to fuck off, and just it slams in your face. I'd rather take me chilling in Florida doing stand-up comedy in my leisure as a rejection rather than the rejection of what my past life used to be, if you
Right.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm very grateful to be able to even afford the $5 to go out, try open mics, and because it is expensive, dude. You go there, it adds up over time, you know, all those ginger ales, because you don't want to get loaded while you're doing comedy, obviously.
I love it, dude. I love
But,
it.
yeah,
but
I like
I
it.
can see it. It's a craft. I think if you treat it as such, you can do it. But dude, you did good, and you can tell like when the energy is going and like everyone's laughing, then you're rolling, and like I don't know, because you had me, dude. I was dying.
I know,
I was
man. I
dying.
appreciate it. And it's only 5 minutes, too, so they don't give you a lot of time.
No.
If the laughs should take up a minute of it, ideally. But, I mean, to get that is pretty cool.
Yeah, though 5 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
Like-
And to think about it this way, I've done 12 open mics minimum. 5 minutes of
Yeah,
all
an
different
hour. You
material.
got an hour on
I got
stage.
I'm on Netflix, man. I'm basically on Netflix already. You know.
I was saying you're a baby, bro. This episode is gonna be an hour long.
I know.
We've talked longer
we're
than you have
so-
on stage.
Exactly. Wow.
That's what makes skydiving so hard,
Why?
because you only have 60 seconds to practice.
Wow. But you could go to the iFly. But it's like you're
no,
not
people
gonna do
people
that
do
all
pay
that-
for tunnel time for that reason. But-
yeah.
But if you're out playing basketball, you can spend an hour on the court every day. To get an hour in the sky, 60 jumps.
The other thing I want to say about comedy, though, is people, from what I can tell, like, and when, because I'm asking, you know, me inside of business, I'm a learner, I would say, so I like to ask questions. I'm naturally curious. You should hear me trying to talk to these stand-up comedians. I'm like, how do you make fun of like this and not offend people, but then also make a joke? Like, it's like hilarious. You know what I mean? But I asked them, I ask, okay, well, how much does writing jokes play a part into it? Because I naturally think of funny or some unnatural things, I would say, just because of the way my brain is wired, just DNA, I guess, just the way I am. I naturally have like a thought disorder, I would say, where I just think, yeah, I do. I think
It's just funny
the
way
yeah,
you put
I
it.
know.
I got a thought disorder.
Listen, I'll be driving down the road and I'll think of like 10 different random things at once. You know, if I don't proactively take care of my mindfulness, it will spin out, right? I'm a realist, Ryan. I'm not gonna get on this podcast and not be myself. Am I right?
No, that's why you're here.
So that's why I'm here. But because of that, I have these funny thoughts, and I'm able to go up on stage and just naturally think of things. In fact, the first time that I did stand-up comedy there was a heckler, and she was heckling me the whole entire time, but I actually think I did pretty good because I naturally do better with improv, I think. What I'm trying to say is I don't write, and I need to write. Because
Yeah, that's
apparently
what-
it's very important.
No, for sure. We just talked about why it's important earlier.
Yeah.
With the
Oh, wow. That is so interesting. It
Yeah,
is
but-
writing.
Yeah, it's journaling. It's the same thing, your thoughts. But So
Yeah.
if you have those funny thoughts, now you can look at it. Now you can massage it more and figure out the timing and the setup to how do you get to that thought in an
Absolutely.
organic way that the audience doesn't even realize. Just like this podcast, I tell people it's like navigating a sail ship. I'm navigating our conversation now. In this one, not so much.
Dude,
but
no,
sometimes-
you are. You're doing a damn good
But
job.
I'm
of that as well.
navigating our conversation without making too many hard left turns. So we get there that feels organic, but I directed us and got us there all in the same fashion.
Yeah, man. Well, I think you do a good job of that in even a meeting with you.
Sitting down. Well, you're one of the
Sitting
few
down,
out of the people that have gotten the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
You mean business. People know Bogdan means business. Bogdan means business. How is that not the tagline?
is that not the tagline? Did
kidding,
we
I'm
make
kidding.
note of that? Dude, this
But
guy.
no, seriously, man.
You're my biggest fan, dude.
I am like your number one stalker. I am outside your apartment every morning. I know exactly what you get from Foxtail Coffee.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know you're not drinking Foxtail.
I don't even know where that is.
You don't know where Foxtail is?
No.
Oh, it's right on 4th.
No.
Don't go there, man. Go to Kawa where it's at.
I had the owner of Kawa on.
Did you guys really?
Yeah.
What episode was that?
Like 5?
That's what I might have thought because
Yeah.
I didn't scroll. I saw Austin was number 1,
Yeah.
and then number 2 was someone else. But I didn't know you guys had that must have been phenomenal. I have to watch that one
Yeah,
specifically.
he was really awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, Ralph Pierre. Raphael. Yep.
They have like mad locations now.
Oh,
all
yeah,
over,
he's
and they're
blown up,
like
and he-
St. Pete, like base.
Oh yeah, the
Opened
roasteries.
up a location in Tampa Airport.
Oh, wow.
And he's big on the wholesale. His Kawa coffee's across the country.
Oh well, no, dude. I know most of
Yeah.
these most of these coffee shops are having Kawa beans and all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
I think that's interesting. I'd love to get into like coffee beans one day because if you have the best beans, you don't even have to have a cafe if you think about
Well,
it.
that's how, yeah, that's the wholesale aspect. Yeah, you sell the beans.
You sell the beans. All right, man.
Where should we go from here?
Okay, so
What else
I
is
got
on your
some
mind?
questions for you.
All right,
Is that,
sweet.
is that cool, Ryan?
Yeah, that's cool,
So-
Jared. Let's do it.
I got some questions for you. They're gonna just be rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm for it. I like this. Maybe
What-
this will be a new segment.
Okay, maybe they will be.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Best pizza in St. Pete, and it can't be a restaurant. I'm talking like a slice of pizza is the standard.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Because there's not good pizza here.
Wow, what an answer, dude. Thank you for that. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have a dog,
I don't.
why don't you have a dog and you live
I'm
in
never
St.
home.
Pete? That's a great answer.
Wouldn't be a good life. Wouldn't be a good quality of life for him. I'd like to have a fish tank.
What should we do about these scooters?
The scooters.
Yeah, like remember when like sidewalks used to be for pedestrians and now you're walking in St. Pete and
Do you get scooters on the sidewalk?
Yeah, all the time, man. It's like I can't even walk anymore.
I don't think it's an issue. And
you don't think it's an issue?
You want to know why?
Yes.
Go to Austin, Texas. And
Okay.
And then tell me it's an issue.
Dude, 3 pumps in a row. You're on fire. Your pumps are just like skyrocketing.
You go to Austin, Texas, there's scooters everywhere. There's no system to them. It could literally be laying in the middle of the sidewalk or in the center of the park.
Yeah, true.
So
that.
you can
In
just-
the middle of a river, dude.
Yeah,
if
you're
we're
just
lucky.
park. There's no like St. Pete has it right in that you have to park them in the designated parking spots. There we have the lane down, the Pinellas Trail.
Yeah.
Right there. So I think it's fine,
Okay, that's cool, man.
and I use them a lot. So
You do use the?
Oh,
Which
dude.
ones do you use? The actual scooter or the like little?
dude, I don't sit down to pee.
Bro, that's funny, man. Oh man. All right, so we got the scooters out of the way. I'm just trying. I almost feel like I'm meeting with the mayor right now, and like these are like my requests to like change St. Pete a little bit.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
maybe can do that. We can maybe get the mayor on if we wanted.
Well, okay. Yeah, you probably.
I
would
already
be.
got. I can.
I am the mayor.
You're speaking to him.
You're speaking to the Mr. Mayor. Okay. In terms of St. Petersburg, if you could take one aspect away from it, like it just wouldn't exist.
That's a good question.
Like it evaporated. Like an example of this would be, okay, no more like construction near the pier. Just
Right.
we're done with constructing the pier. Is there anything you would take away, or do you like it so much as it is?
I'm thinking on this. That's a very good question.
Because
And
it has so much. you
yeah,
know?
it has so much, and I don't. What would I take away? I honestly don't know. I
Yeah.
think maybe get a good pizza shop, but that's not taking anything away. It's
Yeah,
adding.
that's
it's
like adding
something. I don't like that the pier closes at night,
What time does the pier close?
like 11.
Oh wow. Yo, you know what? That's so true because they have the rooftop teak, and then like the DJ gets on at like what 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
what are you
something.
gonna all single file?
Although I think
walk
it's
down a
good that
night
it probably
Johnny Boys?
does, and for the reasons that they do close it. Although
Yeah.
it's kind of annoying. I don't know, man. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think on that one.
But yo, what a place to live where it's like you can't even think of something negative. Am I right?
I mean, there is a homeless population.
yeah.
And although I'm sensitive to that, and I really don't think it's that bad. Like,
Yeah.
and not saying it's not a problem, and that
Oh,
we
absolutely.
can't do something about it. And I don't want anyone to twist my words and say, "Oh, Brian doesn't think."
Yeah.
Not that, but compared to other cities, like I've been spending a lot of time in Austin, Texas, and
Yeah.
it's now it's granted it's a bigger city, but like it's really bad there.
Do you spend a lot of time in Tampa, man?
No,
That's what I mean. Like, why is that? People spend a lot of time in Tampa.
I don't. I'm talking St. Pete.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
There's too much going on in
loyal.
St. Pete.
I'm loyal. Tampa has cool things to offer. There's sometimes some cool spots that open up over there that I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to check out. But like, the gang is here. Well, it's
Yeah.
always easy. I live downtown. I work downtown. Like, why would I want to drive 25 minutes, now
No.
find parking and do all this stuff when I set up my life so I can be efficient and streamlined? Back to the energy.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Back
gonna
to the energy.
yeah, it's gonna have to be something really convincing to get me over there.
So why don't we do this? What are like one or two things that you're going to do in terms of your energy moving forward? And then what are two things that I'm going to do?
You're going to commit to your open mics that you have on your calendar,
Yes.
and you're going to journal. Those are your two things.
Yo, that's what I came here for. And the psychiatry appointment was totally worth every dollar I spent, brother.
Yeah, I love that. And for myself, I'm going to journal even more because I'm not going to be a hypocrite and just sit here and say that I do it every day because I don't. But I do journal a lot in the morning. But again, not every day.
Yeah.
So I want to do better at that and implement. I used to meditate every night before bed.
Mm-hmm.
Just to reflect on the day, and I think store thoughts in the
Yeah.
right spot. I want to get back to that, and I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what the energy audit looks like in terms of the people, but I'm just being a lot more conscious and aware of relationships in my life. And so, if it comes to a point where I have to question it, then I probably will just the power of no. I think depending where we're at in our career and life, yes is so powerful. It's good to say yes to a lot of things. And then you get to a part to where you have to learn to say no, and I haven't been good at that in my life.
Me either, man.
And
Me either. I'm really bad at that.
But there's a lot of
actually.
power behind no.
What? Like, I feel like Can you expand on that? Can you just expand before I expand?
Well, to the point of the energy audit, like is that going to be something?
But I feel like people are like abundant. You know what I mean? Like say yes to everything. Think abundance, and I hear that, and then I also
but that's
think-
where if you know the direction that you're going, does saying yes to that serve the purpose to get you closer, or is it
True
gonna
that.
is it gonna pull you all away from the path?
because just because if you go over here doesn't mean if that's
Because
even
you
where
only have
wanted
so
to
much
go.
time and energy in a day, and so I get influx with so much every day that I have to say no to something. And even if you're by saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. When I said yes to this, I was saying no to something else. When you said yes to even doing the podcast, think about all the hours that you could have put into a knitting career or something better than a podcast. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Dang it, man.
You would have been like,
My crochet skills would have been a lot of this. My grandma would be so pleased. She's a great crocheter, by the way.
oh, is she? Wow.
Yeah, she's made me many blankets.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. You have a family heritage before I let you go? Like, do you have, like, are you guys like real Irish or something like that?
Oh,
or
no,
like,
dude, we're so like we're like the mutt at the
I
dog
think I
pound.
asked you this before.
Dude,
you
I'm
said
a mutt like
something
at a dog
that.
pound, man. Yeah, I'm the mutt that needs to get rescued.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah, are we good? You feel good?
Yeah, dude, this was horrible, man. I had the worst time of my life, and honestly, man, thank you so much for ruining my day.
You're awesome.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Jared Dykas, man. When,
Yeah.
So like, give us a date.
Okay, so for
on your
real,
calendar for real. Now, when's this coming out, Dom? Don't screw this one up.
this will be like a week
No-
from
no
now.
pressure.
It'll be a week from now.
No pressure.
It's coming
No,
out.
it's gonna be the 13th.
13th September. This comes out.
Oh wow.
So when will you have an open mic after that we can promote right now? And Martin, this needs to be a reel.
And we'll get Martin there too. Dude.
Martin's coming
Oh my
out.
gosh, I took my iPhone out of my jeans. It looks like it went to Niagara Falls, dude. It's so wet. I'm like sweating. I'm like nervous talking to you. Like I'm on a date, dude. I'm looking at my photos. Like it's gonna do anything. The 22nd, man.
The 22nd.
Oh, what am I talking about? Yeah. So listen to this. September 22nd, the Philadelphia Eagles are not playing on September 22nd, but it's the start of the Philadelphia Eagles weekend where it's week 3 and they'll be playing Tampa.
Okay.
I'm going to try to do a tailgate. We should talk about that. That
Yeah.
would be fun.
Okay. I'm for it.
But on that Friday, September 22nd at 10 o'clock, I will be at St. Pete Beach doing stand-up at Sunshine
Sunshine City
Comedy
Comedy Club. Boom. Synchronicity.
And all my friends will be there as well.
Yeah.
They're coming from Philadelphia, so I thought, why not do a set
Oh, that's
down
sick. So
there?
we're gonna have a squad there.
We're gonna have a squad there.
What-
I'm gonna
so wait,
make
that-
fun of
that-
Philly too. in
that
Jersey.
club only fits how many people?
Probably 50 people.
Not many.
man. Not many people.
In a good way. I think it's small
Yeah,
and
no,
quite
it's
like it's cool.
intimate.
It's intimate. It's
People
good.
love what.
Yeah.
Oh, it's intimate.
Yeah, no, it's good. So September 22nd, 10 o'clock, we're gonna go support the man.
Yeah.
We're gonna pack the house.
I'm packing the house, man. We're shutting it down.
You
We're
might want to
selling
write
it
out some jokes.
No, I am. I'm gonna. It's gonna be good. I feel confident about this.
Yeah.
I've had some time to get my life in order, and now I'm gonna do nothing but comedy and ruin it again.
Good. I can't wait to watch. Can't wait to watch. No, because you're gonna succeed. You're gonna, dude. You have this. You have it. Let me put you on it. Like you have
Thank
it.
you, man.
You have it. You have it. I think you just need to sharpen the sword.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate that, and I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
I
No, it's
need
good.
to
You gotta
do-
believe it.
Like anything, it takes a lot of time. So,
No, it does. Sharpen the sword. Doesn't happen overnight.
all right,
And you're
man.
gonna crush it, dude. September 22nd. Where can people find you? They wanna-
Jared Dykas, JaredDykas. That is my name, and they can follow me on Instagram. And JD the comic is like my little Instagram for comedy. It's in my like bio. Besides that, just stay updated with me, brother.
And if they
a lot of
made
new
it-
stuff coming soon,
And if they made it this far, what should they comment below?
they should comment tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Because that's
Yeah.
what we're throwing at them on the
Yeah,
22nd.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, great, dude. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate you.
Oh man, thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. Good time. If you made it this far, comment tomatoes. And if you're now intrigued and you want to buy a home here, check out Bogdan Homes. We're here to help. Luxury is an experience, not a price point. See you on the next one.
Bro, I'm sorry,
Good
man.
impromptu.
What are you sorry for? That was great.